Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Monday the 9th of September 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.3% today to 7,988 points. Consumer discretionary stocks did worst, while property companies did best. Most of the banks were lower, with Westpac off 1%. REA, Woodside and Wesfarmers were also down at least 1%. Best on the day, among the large caps at least, was WiseTech Global, up 2.3%. A bunch of stocks, including CSL, Hub24, Super Retail Group and Viva Energy, all traded ex-dividend. In M&A news, Charter Hall Retail REIT has teamed up with Superfund Host Plus to bid for ASX-listed hotel property investments. Charter Hall bought almost 15% of HPI back in March, and today's bid is a premium of around 5% to Friday's closing price. There have been some changes to the ASX 200 announced as well. Now, they occur every 3 months. Rebalancing. Recently listed Guzman y Gomez will be included in the benchmark S&P ASX 200 index from September 23. Also joining the top 200 will be WA miner Westgold and coal miner Yancoal. Domain, Nanosonics and Strike Energy will be removed from the index. Story number 2, the federal opposition has called for the government to be given powers to force divestitures in the aviation industry, essentially meaning that Canberra could force Qantas to sell Jetstar. The option is being pushed by the coalition's transport spokeswoman, Bridget McKenzie, on the basis that the threat of divestiture could be enough to keep airfares lower than they otherwise would be. She isn't saying the coalition wants to force the national carrier to sell Jetstar. Take note of that. The federal opposition has taken on quite a few big businesses recently, particularly the retailers. This pushes the strategy into aviation. Senator McKenzie said Australians want an airline sector where there is genuine choice, where planes take off and land on time, and where luggage arrives at a destination along with the passengers. It's a popularist argument, just in time for the next federal election. And it got plenty of media play today. Doesn't necessarily have unanimous support, though, within the coalition. Nationals leader David Littleproud was quite cool on the idea. He simply said the idea needs further study. Story number 3, Domino's Pizza has been hit with a class action alleging misleading or deceptive conduct and breaches of its disclosure obligations regarding the performance of its Japanese stores. In January this year, Domino's share price fell 30% after it released an awful trading update based on the outlook for Asia and Europe. It was the 4th profit downgrade in 3 years, and it looks like shareholders are fed up with it all. Including today's 2% drop, Domino's share price is off 50% this year alone, and proceedings have been filed by Echo Law on behalf of shareholders who bought into Domino's in the second half of 2021. At its peak in that period, a Domino's share was worth more than $160. Today, it's less than $30. Story number 4, China's core inflation fell to its lowest level in more than 3 years, triggering calls for greater stimulus to boost household spending to help achieve Beijing's 5% annual growth target. The CPI, excluding volatile food and energy costs, rose just 0.3% in August from a year earlier, the least since March 2021. The broader inflation reading increased 0.6%, but that missed expectations, even though it was boosted by higher food costs due to bad weather last month. And story number 5, the surge in support for Kamala Harris has faded somewhat, a new poll suggests, leaving Donald Trump ahead in the run-up to what may be the only televised debate between the candidates, scheduled for Wednesday Australian time. For the first time in a month, Trump is narrowly ahead, with 48 to 47% support nationwide among those likely to vote, according to a New York Times Siena College poll. It also shows that nearly a third of Americans felt that they needed to learn more about Harris and where she stands on the issues that matter to voters. Only 9% felt that way about Trump, according to a report in the Times. A survey by CBS News of voters in 3 swing states showed Harris ahead by a single point in Michigan and Wisconsin and tied with Trump in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. A YouGov poll last week, commissioned by the Times, put Harris ahead in 4 swing states and Trump in 3. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday the 9th of September 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.